Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Angie. This is New Path Tarot. And today we're going to do a reading that has to do with your future. So, future meaning from now when you watch this until not a predetermined time frame, but probably within 3 months. So, I'm not sure exactly what is going to be the theme of the next few months or so. It's more so I'm keeping it open in order to not limit it. So today we're going to be using the Santa Muerte tarot deck. And I've already pre-shuffled pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and select your piles for you to choose from. So go ahead and close your eyes, take a deep breath, and I'm going to show you 3 different cards for you to use your intuition to discern which pile to start with today. And keep in mind that you can always return at a later date to get more insight for where you're at that time. These are timeless readings. So pile 1, King of Wands, which also came out while I was shuffling, interestingly. So pile 1, King of Wands. Pile 2, the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, and pile 3, the Magician reverse, but I'm going to hold it upright so you can get a good look at it. Okay, so I'm going to hold all 3 of them up so you can compare. Whichever one you're pulled to the strongest today is going to be the one for you at this time. Hopefully there's not too much of a glare on these and you could see them all. Okay? All right, so if you pick 2 or 3, go ahead and skip to your pile. The timestamps have your where to click on there. And otherwise, stay here if you're pile 1. I'm going to put these over to the side. Okay, pile 1. Oh yeah, let me put that Magician reverse so I don't forget that that was reversed. Because I will by the time I get to pile 3. Let's see here. All right, so the first thing that I was drawn to, and maybe you were as well, is he's pointing up diagonally. You know, you wonder, what is he pointing at? I don't think he's pointing at something far away like a sun. I think he's pointing at something within our atmosphere. Maybe a bird, I don't know. It actually kind of feels like, I know this, I get really weird imagery sometimes that you would probably be like, where the hell did this come from? But this is literally what popped in my head, is one of those airplanes that carries the sign behind them. So, and I feel like he's like, look, look, look. So there's a message in that. I think he's trying to get your attention. What's coming up in your future? It's like your guides are wanting to get your attention in a big way and say, look at the sign, basically. It's like you're having signs left and right, but you might be discounting them or just not noticing them. So it's like this is your attention grabbing moment to say, look at the signs. You're not paying attention. You're not noticing them. Now, this is future. So you know, you might be like, oh, I do notice the signs. Oh, I do pay attention. But there's going to be something in your future, I think, that is going to be where you're going, where you know, where you're not, where it's in your face and you're missing it, and it's like right there, and your guys are almost like hitting their head against the wall because they're like, don't you see this? It's something like you're doubting yourself, but they're trying to tell you, go for it, but you're holding yourself back. Okay, let's see what else we have for you. Okay, 4 of Cups reversed. I'm going to hold it upright so you can get a better view of it. This is one of those cards that you would rather be reversed because the upright version of it is kind of a depressing card. This person obviously, you know, slumped over, having a hard time. So being reversed seems like you might be coming out of this energy. So if you're currently feeling like this, just know that it will pass and that your near future looks a lot more promising. It looks like the scene of this, I mean, you can see a guitar in the background and he's like under some kind of covering. So I'm thinking like the party is over for this guy. And so this is like maybe the party didn't go how he planned or how he wanted. for him personally. Like everybody was having a good time, but he wasn't. And Four of Cups is kind of like you're not able to feel the emotion that you want to or would normally feel. It's like you're just kind of blah. You're just kind of like, you know, you're at a party and you wish you could have a good time, but you're not connecting and you're just kind of dissociated from the whole thing. So as for a future message, it's like I feel like you're going to have better times as far as that connection goes, despite what it may be now or has been. Okay, what else do we have here? Two of Cups. Oh, that's great. And it's upright too. So Two of Cups can be two different things mostly. In some, it depends on the context. In some cases, it can be a contractual agreement, and in other cases, it can be relationship related. So, two people seeing eye to eye, two people on the same page, completely mutual energy between the two. And so that's your future energy, or it could be entering a contract or some kind of agreement or something like that. It depends on your personal situation. So let's say you're in a relationship already. This could be the two people coming together a little bit more copacetic. And if you're not even in a relationship whatsoever, this would imply that you are going to meet somebody that you have mutual chemistry with. Okay, what else? The Six of Swords. So sometimes I have to remember when it's not a Rider-Waite-Smith based deck what the actual, what the card is that I learned so that I can translate it in my head really quick. It's like a foreign language. So, and then I go, well, hold on, let me not get caught up in that and let me look at this card. So, he's holding a book out. This is so interesting. This is such a random message that came to me, which is why I like to use cards that are outside of my normal, is because I feel like this is an example of somebody who gives advice that they don't take themselves, because I feel like this guy is kind of trapped in his own situation. Like he's so good at giving advice to others, but he can't see out of his own situation. So, I mean, this is a very common thing. It's so much easier to see other people's stuff because you're not emotionally attached to it. So if you can think logically and with reason, it'd be so easy. You're like, oh, well, this is great. But because we have emotion attached to our own lives, it's not so easy to live according to what the best advice would be. So having said that, the Swords is a mental suit. As you can see, this guy is really wrapped up mentally. Also, a book containing knowledge. Having a bookmark in it at a certain place makes you wonder what is right there, because clearly that was either marked for a reason or it's just randomly there. Let's just go ahead and say it's purposely put there. There's something in this book that he's trying to share with you. He's like, look here. So it feels like a very combined energy along with the King of Wands. The King of Wands is pointing to something, and this guy's trying to hand you some information. So anytime I see books in a divination sense, I think of the Akashic Records. And let me just tell you something really interesting quickly, is one of my clients was telling me he had a dream of I'll just, for lack of a better word, say filing cabinet with a... So I don't know if you've ever seen this at a library before, because it's pretty old school, but it's like this bookshelfy thing. I don't know how to explain it. Or more like a filing cabinet, really, where it has these little drawers that pull out, and then it has these cards in it. So when you go to find a book, you pull the cards out, and then you find your one, and you pull your index card out. If you even know what I'm talking about, he had a dream of that kind of thing, and so I explained to him that when I have gone to the Akashic Records in a meditation and seen it very vividly, that was in there. And that's how you found people's records, is you'd go in there and you'd find where it is in the shelves and go to it. So the fact that this guy didn't even know what Akashic Records were and he had that in a dream just was like interesting to me. Sometimes I get messages through other people. So I'm like, wow, that's really like double confirmation. And so anytime I see books or anything like that reminds me of what I've seen in the Akashic Records, I've also personally had a dream about a book like this. But it was on a podium, it was open, and the words were written in gold. And it reminds me of what I've learned about like the book of life. And if you're in that book, then you get to live in eternal bliss, if you will. So just interesting correlations. And if it were to pertain to your future, it kind of feels to me like you're being offered a chance, either in a new way ahead to live, or to even a new belief or renewed sense of your own personal beliefs in regards to your faith and spirituality. And it could also be getting really in touch with your spiritual gifts too over the next few months, or however long this reading is intended to be for you. Okay. Ace of Pentacles reversed. So I'll hold it upright so you can see it better. Very nature-ish. He's got mushrooms around him. He's got coins in his mouth. He's got a grasshopper on his head. And there's insects around here. This feels like a forgotten energy. Like this has been here a while, obviously. It's been here long enough to have grown foliage on it. And the fact that there's coins here, it's like a lost treasure. So this is something that you're reconnecting with something from your past. And you can interpret that in any way. You know, that's how these readings end up being timeless, is because I say something like you're reconnecting with something from your past, and it can mean so many different things. So I don't want to limit it in this situation to say what that thing is. When I think of a grasshopper, I think of the movie Pinocchio and how Jiminy Cricket is the guy's Pinocchio's conscience. And he's always trying to lead him the right way, but the story would have never developed and he never would have become real if he hadn't taken the path that he chose to take. So though things looked pretty bad throughout the story, that's exactly what it was. It was a story, and it was made to be entertaining, teach lessons to those who watched it, and a whole bunch of other things. But that's kind of what I'm getting for you guys, is you might not have taken a traditional path, which means you have some buried or forgotten treasure from your past that you have to return to at some point and make use of it. So that might be something to put on your checklist for the next few months. Okay, let's see what else we have. Six of Pentacles. So I don't know. Oh, these are skulls, I think. Okay, yeah. Also old skulls. He's buried in them. He's looking up at this tree that has leaves falling from it. I really don't know what to gather from this card. I'm not getting anything intuitively from it. And when that happens, in my other decks, I know right away that it's not a card that applies to that pile. So I'm like, okay, that's it. But in your case, I think it's just that I'm not connecting with the card. I don't think it's a message in that way. So I'm going to look at the book and see what they say. Sometimes my intuition gets blocked for a reason of I wouldn't have picked up on the message had I not gone to the book. So let me rule that out by looking up what it says here. If I can find it. Okay, here we go. 6. Okay, interesting. We are in the present, but in front of a precarious equilibrium, an alternation that swings like a pendulum between positive and negative. It could make our physical and economic situation unstable while waiting for a solution in an ulterior evolution. It will be time, fluid and unilateral, never stopping, that will make the situation evolve and enable us to overcome eventual obstacles. So that's very interesting. It's a very futuristic message, like the total vibe of this whole reading. The advice is proceed with audacity and without haste, working hard and keeping yourself focused on the present. What you desire will arrive when the time is ripe. So that's really important advice anyways. Like, though this is a future reading, the best advice anybody can ever take is being in the present. So it's like you plan for your future, yes, sure, but remaining in the present moment. I mean, I personally I try not to make future decisions. I really try to stay in the present moment, because when I make future decisions, who knows if when that time arrives, if I'm still going to be in the same state of mind, or, like I don't know, I make decisions intuitively. So being present allows me to make the decisions as they come to me, as opposed to having some kind of future plan for the most part. There was a decision that I had just like mulling over, and I just didn't feel like it was time. And then boom, exact time. It's just like, all of a sudden I'm like, now's the time, like that. But up until that moment, and I'll have clients who have that issue where they'll be like, they have a decision to make, and they're just like, I have to explain to them, like, if you try to make a decision before it's time to make the decision, this is why you feel this way. It's not time to make the decision yet. Now, once you learn that and figure it out, it's fine. But sometimes people just don't know that, because that's not something that we're taught in any sense, is how to make your decisions based on your intuition and all that sort of thing. All right, let's see if there's anything left. Any last messages? Okay, King of Swords. So you had the King of Wands, and now you have the King of Swords. Pretty cool looking dude. I feel like this is a summary message, like it wraps up everything, where you are going to be privy to some knowledge that you probably don't yet know, but it's there. Your intuition might know this information too. So over the next few months, like, something that you're thinking right now will be confirmed to you. And maybe you should make a note of it, so that when it does happen, you're reminding yourself of that fact. Because right now, don't make a decision due to the fact that you don't have all the information yet. Then what's going to happen is you're going to get the information you need, and then you act accordingly. And do that in general going forward, each decision you have to make. If you don't feel like it's the right time, then maybe there's a reason for that. And then when you start getting signs and dreams and confirmation that it's time to move, that's when you make your move. Okay, cool. All right, so that's it for you guys, pile 1, and you can stick around for pile 2 or skip to 3. Otherwise, I will see you another time. Thanks, bye. All right, pile 2, your card that you selected was the 7 of Pentacles. Pretty cool looking card. It reminds me of what are these things called that they use in math to count? It starts with an A. If you know what I'm talking about, where you slide the little thingy things over. It's on the tip of my tongue too. I hate when that happens. Anyways, strategy is what I'm getting here for you guys. You have some kind of strategy that you're going to need to compile for the next few months. So let's get some more information on that. Okay, Six of Cups in the reversed position. I'll hold it upright so you can see it better. So he's on a ship. I say he. There's no he here, but you know, whatever. You're on a ship. We're on a ship. And obviously there's more than 6 cups. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cups. Oh, that's because apparently I can't tell a 6 from a 9. Yeah, okay. That's why there's 9 cups there. And that's why I couldn't connect with this card as a 6 of cups. I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like 6 of cups at all. Now, does it look like 9 of cups? Not so much either, being that it's usually this guy sitting here looking smug with 9 cups over him on like a ledge. But definitely looks more 9 of cups than 6 of cups. So I'm being drawn to the heart and the lock on the ground. So the lock's on the ground because this has been opened. This is considered a treasure because of it being in a locked or previously locked chest. And what else? I'm trying to think of what might be important about this other than what I've said. I'm going to put it to the side and see if anything else comes to me. Oh, I remember. It was reversed. So I got to think about that. Like why or how does it change if the reversed message applies? Fulfillment is coming to mind. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to hold off on that. What do we have here? 2 of Wands. A lot of red energy I'm being drawn to. Root chakra. 2 of Wands. And I'm feeling like a standoff. So, it is definitely connected with the 9 of Cups reversed message. A standoff. Or like a duel. But one person having the advantage. Okay. Let me continue. These will definitely wrap up better once I get more context. All right, 10 of Pentacles. Now this is a great card to get. In this deck, you would never guess. It looks like there's some rundown houses. But there's a very interesting thing I'm being drawn to in this card, which is there's a chest right here. And the fact that you have this open chest in this other card and then you have a closed chest here, I don't think is coincidence. What is this in the front? A skull, probably. There's lots of skulls in this deck, and I'm obsessed with skulls right now, lately. Oh, interesting. Look at the moth. It has, like, skeleton feet. Weird, right? Cool. All right, moving on. For more context, let me do this. I want to shuffle these really quick. I know you can't tell, but I have them fanned out in front of me. And then I'm selecting from that. So I want to mix them up a little bit. Okay. All right, the World. Man, this might be the first major arcana that I've gotten today. I think so. The World. She's a bride with an hourglass. She's sitting on top of the world. Okay. I know it sounds cliche, but I got the song in my head. She's got the whole world in her hands kind of thing. She meaning you, whoever you are, male, female, whatever. You have the ability to make choices in your life in order to literally have the life that you deserve and are entitled to and came here to have. And that's where that 9 of Cups reversed is kicking in, because the word fulfillment, but the card's reversed, and I'm like, why are you not fulfilled? But you can be. And that's your future energy, is stepping into that fulfillment, because the 10 of Pentacles is a very fulfilling card. And I think somebody's standing in your way with that Two of Wands. I think somebody's currently standing in the way of your happiness. So that's where that strategy comes in. You're going to have to figure out how to get this person out of the way of your best life. So, let me think here. I want to pull another card too. Okay. Queen of Cups reversed. Another interesting correlation is this Nine of Cups and the Queen of Cups both have the eternal flame heart on them. Notice here and here. So here's the thing, okay? Not only is your fulfillment literally unlocked for you and it's at your disposal, not maybe right now because it's reversed, but coming soon. And yet, not only is it available to you, but it's like it's being handed to you, probably by spirit is what I'm getting. For some reason, the kings and queens really do feel to me like it's your spirit guides in this deck, which is uncommon. But that's what I feel like. This is a spirit guide of yours, or maybe even an ancestor, who is literally handing you this happiness that you're entitled to, because your ancestors want you to be happy. They have your best interest in mind. That's why generally when we do readings, we don't use the ancestors because they're pretty biased to our benefit. Whereas spirit guides have our best interests in mind, but they keep in mind the bigger picture too. And some guides work with other guides in order to correlate messages and everything. Whereas ancestors are like, like protective, and they want you personally to succeed, and they don't care about other people kind of thing. I'm not going to say that's 100% the case. I'm just saying if you get the idea of the differentiation of what type of advice ancestors will give you versus what type of advice a spirit guide will give you. It's almost like spirit guides have more rules to follow, and therefore their messages can be a little bit more vague. And ancestors' messages are pretty, like, more about the now and the future. They're better at predictions, I think. Again, that's just something I've noticed, and that's subject to change at any moment, because usually when I make a discernment like that, then they change it up on me. But yeah. Okay, let's see if there's any last residual messages. That hourglass. Time is of the essence, and strategy. That's interesting. Those two coming together to tell me that, to say to you. The world is like the conglomerate of a whole bunch of things. Everything you've ever learned in this lifetime, and then going forward, maybe even, let's bring in your other lives you've lived too and tie that in, because I swear you are meant to... I know that I focused on your happiness, but that's kind of like implied that you have bigger shoes to fill than just being happy. But I didn't go there because I think first we got to get you out of the rut or onto the next stage, and then we can talk about what you're going to do from there, because this is only a little bit future. It's not like your whole life is in this reading, obviously. So whatever it is that you need to strategize, I'm assuming you already know about it. You already know what it is. But with somebody else being in your way, I'm assuming you know who that is too. And who is your ancestor that is trying to look out for you? I'm assuming you know who that is too. Somebody who's passed, who's on your side, that you were close to. So just, tapping into that energy in order to help remind you that you are worthy of having that life that you dream of. You just got to step into that energy. Because you are holding yourself back at this moment is what I'm getting. All right, that's it for you guys, pile 2. I'm going to move on to pile 3. I hope that was helpful for you today. And if you want to see what I say in pile 3, then you can just stay right here. Okay, pile 3. You got the Magician reversed. I'm going to hold it upright so you can see it better. So we got the all-seeing eye in the palm of the hand. And then this person, though a magician, they feel more to me like a psychic. In fact, they have a crystal ball so they can scry. They have a singing bowl to get the mood right. The mood of being attuned to the energies. And the singing bowl is good for getting any impurities out of your vibration, out of your aura. It also, depending on the note of it, can help heal and also balance your energy, things like that. Looks like, I can't tell what these bottles are in the back, but accessories, if you will. Candles lit. What else? Yeah. Okay, cool. So regardless, it says, oh, this is so interesting to me. This is so, I want to go to the book and see what this is about. Right here it says will, W-I-L-L. And here it says something else, but it's covered. Ooh, how mysterious. How sneaky. Don't you want to know what that says right there? I do. Let's see if the book will tell us or if it's a mystery. Because what I think of when I see something covered on one side is the High Priestess, because she's the one who has the scroll half in and half out under her arm. So let's see what this says. It says, we are facing a beginning, and we can begin with the choices in harmony with our deepest will. That's where the word will comes in. Okay. Letting the primordial fire that illuminates the head of the magician act as the spark. Potentials such as his talent, his abilities to persuade, or astuteness are at their maximum level in a creative and receptive equilibrium, catalyzed by his instruments such as the wand and the chalice. Where, however, the will is not clear but clouded as if covered by a veil, it is then easy to act imprudently, to have prejudices, to hesitate, or to remain in a stalled situation, a victim of indecision. So that answers that question. Advice: do not waste time. Act. You can trust your own abilities without delay, but carefully evaluate where you aim your potential and the object of your choices. The object. Oh, so okay, this is what it's like to me. Is you have a bow and arrow, and whatever you set your sights on and aim for, you're going to get it. So make sure you're careful about what you're setting your sights on, because is that really what you want? Or is it possible that you could be getting something that you don't want? Magician is obviously manifestation energy. So let's talk about numerology. If you personally are a life path 1, meaning your month, day, year adds up to a 1, then you personally are a magician as your life path. So, having said that, you can also be a 1 year, like you're in a 1 year. The way you figure that out is you add up your month, day, and what the present year is right now. And if that adds up to be a 1, then you're in a 1 year. So you're in the beginning of a cycle, and you're in a high manifestation period of time. So remember though, this card was reversed. So I do feel like it has more of the attributes of the shadow message, which is being careful about what you set your sights on. And being that this is a future reading, that's why you're hearing this right now, is to maybe reevaluate, are you pointing in the right direction or not? Do you really want to be going in the direction you're going right now? Now is the time to evaluate that. Okay, now you got Justice card. So Justice sometimes, usually, is a legal thing. It could also be dealing with karma, a karmic situation. And therefore, if you are stuck in a situation or unable to move out, or you're, you know what I mean? What did it say again? I'm going to read it again. To hesitate or remain in a stalled situation, a victim of indecision. If that's your case, and you're trying to figure out where to set your sights on, and now justice is coming up to tell you that this is probably a karmic situation that you're dealing with, and karmic situations can be really hard to disentangle from. And you might have to do something in the legal aspect in regards to this situation. So I'm going to put that to the side, and we can come back to it if it becomes relevant too. All right, 10 of Wands. A lot of red energy again here. So therefore, root chakra message that I'm picking up on, and I see in the background here like this, it looks like a village, but particularly a castle. And what that makes me think of is that your very security and home life might be threatened here. And that you might need to, maybe that's what's keeping you in your indecision. Maybe that's what's keeping you stalled, is that you have to figure out your very survival here is a possibility. Okay. What else do we have? The 7 of Wands in the reverse position. So I'm going to hold it upright so you could see it better. So we have a nice woodsy scene. Seems like a cool place to be. I don't have any problems with it. It feels like a good vibe. This is, you hear that cliche message of self-care where they say get out in nature. Well, that's actually what I'm getting here, is that you need to restore yourself. Whether that be nature or not isn't necessarily the case. It's more like you need to put yourself as a priority for a little bit and go do something that's for you. I think it's more than just go do something. It's like you need to spend a day or two doing this. Have like complete vacation from life kind of thing, away from all responsibilities and people. So in some way, if you can make an excuse to, because a lot of people think vacation is just from work. I mean, sometimes you need a reset from everything so that you can get your head on straight for your future. Because I swear, it's so hard to make decisions when you're in it. You got to step back from it so that you can make a better decision. Okay, what else? Okay, Knight of Cups. Knights are oftentimes messengers. So, this guy's interesting. He's looking back. It's like he's about to go through this threshold here, and yet he's looking back at his past. It's like he's like, before I make this decision, I just need to make sure I'm making the right decision, because once I go through this door, this arch, I cannot turn back. This is it, the moment of truth. So what's funny about him though is he looks like he's been here for a while. Like, this isn't like he's just come upon it and he's like, all right, one quick glance back. This feels like he's been here so long that these flowers have grown up to that height. And he's just kind of, it's like he's waiting for something to catch up to him, or he's like waiting for some kind of external validation that he should go through it, but it's not coming. So he's just like, I guess I'll just sit here and wait forever. And it's like, no, buddy, you got to get going. It's do or die here, moment of truth. Let's go. So honestly, the past is over. You really got to move forward now. Stop looking back. And yeah. Okay. I mean, the Knight of Cups, because the suit of cups, can be a bit of a dreamer. So he might be looking back at the past, like thinking, oh, I wish it was this way or that way. And it's like, but it wasn't, so it's time to go forward, buddy. Okay, Lovers reversed. Let's hold it up right. The Lovers can be about lovers and or a lot of times it's about a choice to be made. And I reference the Marcel deck. That's how you say it. That's how I say it, Marcel. That card has 3 people in it. And it's like there's a choice between 2 different people. So I usually carry that vibe with me even when I'm reading a deck that only has 2 people. And then the other thing that's interesting to note that in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, she's looking up at, there's an angel up here in that deck, and he's looking, I think, at her. And so in this deck, he's looking up at that, and she's looking at this shiny toy. That's what it feels like to me. They're not even close to on the same page. And so they're both looking at different things. He feels like the King of Cups looking at his past, and she feels like she's just so invested in the material world. They don't see eye to eye. So being in the reversed position, I think it's showing that's a past energy between them. Like, this is the couple in question here. It's possible, it's highly likely that you might be dealing with an ex or leaving a relationship. It might be a legal situation because of the Justice card showing up. And you might be... There might be 2 people involved, one past, one present, or one future. And then, because, this being a future energy, this is what you really got to work on, is getting out of this situation so that your future is a new kind of reading where you're not dealing with this situation anymore. And then remember, the Magician is telling me, assuming it were upright, is telling me you have the skills and know-how and ability to get out of this mess. But being reversed, I feel like you're having a hard time with it. So you gotta maybe have your closure about the situation, because maybe you're dragging your feet in that maybe you weren't sure if it is over or if you should be pursuing this, especially if it requires a legal situation. But this is indicating that, yes, that is the case to do so. All right, one more card if it feels like it's a connected energy to your pile. Otherwise, that last card would be it. Hermit reversed. Yeah, this feels connected. So I'm looking at it really quick just to see what I see here. I like it. Hermit. Normally he's standing on a mountaintop and he's got this lantern out in front of him. He's usually a way shower. And in this deck, he's confined. I imagine that there's a lid on this and that he's underground. If that's the intention or not, I don't know. But it's like we're seeing through it. Eventually this light's going to go out and eventually he's going to suffocate. But as of right now, it's like he's made peace with it. So, what am I trying to say here? I feel like this is representative of you if this is where you're at right now, where normally you are a way shower. But for whatever reason, circumstances might have brought you to a place where you're not feeling like that right now because of this situation has stifled you. It's like how can I lead others if I myself am needing to fix my life? So it was reversed though, right? If I remember correctly. So in this card, I don't feel like it changes the message at all. I'm not getting anything different just because it's reversed, and that does happen sometimes for me. You know what's even weirder too is I don't feel like somebody put him here. I feel like he's like, you know what? I need a nap. I'm gonna go hide away from the world and recuperate, and then I will emerge renewed and able to face the day. But as of right now, I'm going to hide out in this coffin and nobody will find me. And who knows, maybe I'll die here. You know, that's what I feel like his energy is like. He's kind of down, you know? So that's what I don't know. Your reading's supposed to be future, but I feel like the current had to be addressed first. Because you're kind of in it. You got to walk through this archway onto the new. You gotta be ready. The problem for him is he can't see what's on the other side. He's like, it's like veiled to him, just like this magician veiling that's going on here. So he's on this side, and that's covered, and he doesn't know, you know, what's there. So I really wonder what this word says. Maybe it is will. Maybe it's will on both sides, because that looks like the same from what you can see. So if this is will and it's seen, and this is unseen will, that's interesting. All right, so pile 3, that's where I'm going to leave you guys today. I feel like you guys, of all the piles, should probably check in again relatively soon. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be making readings in the near future unless things line up. But when I say check in, I mean either another pile that you might be drawn to, or in your case, I'm assuming that you do get your own intuitive information as well, but you also like to watch readings of other people and stuff. So, you know, just getting your own validation in one form or another to, once you walk through that threshold, then now you have this wondrous new world on the other side, and then what might your will be, you know, needed to be pointed at that time to manifest for yourself going forward from there. All right, so I'm gonna leave you guys at that. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace out.